Welcome. Today is Friday, September the 1st, y'all, 2023. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, and Real Live with your host, Damon the Agent. Where I come to you with the latest real estate trends, and I always talk about what's going on in life or what's a hot topic of the day or weeks. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and post them because I am doing Q&A again like I've been doing the past couple of months. But as always, I like to be in my show with the latest real estate topic. So today I'm going to be talking about credit matters. And the reason that I'm going to be talking about credit matters is because credit is so critical when it pertains to real estate that people don't even realize it. Even if you have cash, cash is king supreme, but credit rules more than you may ever know. Credit can sometimes get you in the door before you even get there. And that's why I want to talk about credit, because when you have good credit, it really matters. And I want to hopefully instill in someone, this nugget as far as how important credit is. And it's just basically doing simple things to help boost your credit, whether you're using your credit to get a house, whether you're using it to get a car, whether you're refinancing your credit cards, whether you're getting a rental property or anything. Credit matters, you all. So I want you all to please begin to focus. Today is September the 1st, like I just mentioned. So you can start to practice this as a habit moving forward, because some people don't understand your credit can drop today, but it will take a while to go up. I recently had a client of mine who paid for something, and the same day she paid, she assumed that her credit was going up that same day. And I told her, no, when your credit drops, it drops instantly. But when it goes up, it takes them a while. And normally credit bureaus do not update your credit until every 30 days. Like, for example, this is the first of the month. So anything that was done in August is most likely going to be getting updated now. But even when they raise your credit, they tend to still not bring it up as quickly as they took it down. Your credit can drop 20 points today, but it's not going to go up 20 points in a month. So that's just the way things are. So I just want people to take these little steps to hopefully help them create a better habit as far as improving their credit. First of all, I want people to, everyone knows what they make, but I also would like for people, every year there's a free credit report that is given to everyone that you can actually get every year. You can actually go online and get your own credit report. And when you do that, they give everyone your free credit report to everyone as a consumer. You're entitled to that. But I also would like for people to practice this habit. There are three credit bureaus. I would like for everyone to reach out to all three credit bureaus on your downtime and just pull your credit reports and to pay for your credit scores. Now, the way that the internet is, every time you log onto websites, everything is bombarding you to do this, to buy that. I still believe in calling each bureau separately, because when you call each bureau separately, it's going to walk you through a prompt. And with the prompt, is going to basically ask you personal questions like your social security number, your date of birth, what street you lived on, all these personal information. But those are from the actual bureau. When you go online to, let's say, Equifax or Experian or TransUnion, they're also trying to sell you credit reports from the other bureaus, but they're not actually the credit reports of the other bureaus. It's just a way for them, a means for them to try to generate more money and get you stuck to them. Please hear what I'm saying. Please reach out to each credit bureau separately and pull your own credit report. I put it up here on the screen, in which Equifax is 1-800-685-1111. That's Equifax, 1-800-685-1111. Experian is 1-888-397-3742. Experian is 1-888-397-3742. And TransUnion is 1-888-909-8872. Again, TransUnion is 1-888-909-8872. Now, please, when you'll get time on your downtime, meaning like, for example, if y'all go sit on the toilet, call them, because people do all types of things when they're on the toilet. They on their cell phones, they're talking, or they're strolling on social media. But make it a habit to reach out to these credit bureaus as soon as possible, because I want you to also request your credit score. Credit score is about $10, something around that amount. That's a total about $30. You'll spend more going out to you you'll spend you'll spend more going out to eat. You'll spend more, what I'm saying, playing the lottery than you do investing in yourself. Please take the time to invest in yourself and to do that, because when you do, you're going to see a return on it later on, especially if you take heed to what I say. That's the first step that I would like people to do when it pertains to their credit. Once you get your credit reports, I want everyone to look at what's on your actual credit reports. Anything that's over 2 years old, contested. Contested, even if it's yours, contested. The reason why I say to contest it is because you'll be surprised. The credit bureaus give your creditors 30 days to respond. If your creditors do not respond in 30 days, the credit bureaus will automatically drop the items off of your credit reports. So the creditors have 30 days to respond. Some are going to respond. Guess what? Some of them are not going to respond. You'll be surprised. So if you have like 15 items on your credit report and you challenge all 15 and they're all yours and they're over 2 years old, you'll be surprised. Some of them may drop off. And I just tell you this based off experience. That's the second step, to contest that. The other thing is I want people to do, and this is simple, and even though we should have learned this in home economics though, but I want people to, based off how much money you bring home every month, to create a monthly budget. The reason why I say to create a monthly budget is because people are out here spending money haphazardly. Ever since they've given people debit cards and people don't write checks anymore, people get their debit cards and they swipe, 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 swipe. They don't balance a checkbook. They don't know what's in their bank account. Then their bank accounts are on negative. And then on top of that, they're spending stuff where they shouldn't spend, because sometimes people don't have the priority to spend. Some people should be paying for their bills next week, but instead of paying for their bills, they want to go get their hair done. It's nothing wrong with getting your hair done, but you have to factor that into your monthly budget, a time when you can get it. You might have to get your hair done at the end of the month rather at the beginning of the month. But because the people do not write these things down, they're simple, but they can cost you, and affect your credit in a negative way. So I want people to write a monthly budget based off how much money they bring into the house monthly. You have to write out all your bills, because you have to practice good habits. So your monthly budget is a list of everything that you have to pay every month, and right beside it, the due date. Some things are due on the 1st. Some things may be due on the 5th. Some things may be due on the 10th. Some things may be due on the 15th. Some may be due on the 21st. Some may be due on the 28th. It's going to vary depending on if it's your credit card, if it's the light bills, if it's the mortgage or rent, car notes, car insurance, cell phone bills. These things are going to vary, but I strongly want people to write out and create a monthly budget. Then you factor in how much money you bring in, because that'll tell you if you're bringing in more bills than money, or if you got more money than bills. And then once you come to that conclusion, I want people to also, when you do get your credit reports and everything, to factor in the bigger picture, y'all. Please remove and eliminate your pride. Like, some people have things on their credit report that they know they should pay, and I'm talking about small things. Like, I had a client recently who refused to pay Verizon Fios, her home internet, because she was at dispute that they charged her an extra $25 on her bill. They wouldn't remove it, so she refused to pay the whole bill. But here's the problem that I had with her, and this is what I shared with her and I shared with you all. I get that stance that you're trying to make, but she turned around. She could have got approved for a home loan, but because she didn't pay that bill, she didn't get approved for a home loan, so she went to rent a house. When she wanted to rent a house, the house was renting at $3,800, y'all, a month. $3,800. So if she would have just paid the bill, which was the total of $400, She would have got approved for a home. That same house she was renting for $3,800, she could have bought that house and not paid more than $2,400 for that same house. So I asked her this question: which is the bigger picture? You holding your stance against Verizon, a big company that's not going to buck down if you owe them the $400, or you not getting your house and you paying an extra $1,400 a month, which is going to equal over 16,000 a year, just because you refuse to pay $400 up front. So sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture of what's worth paying and what's not worth paying, you all. And then also, I want people, like I said, to create that monthly budget, to create what's on your income monthly, because all these things are going to affect your credit, y'all. Whether you realize it, it's the habit that we have or we do not have that have an impact on the life that we want to live. Because here's the thing: a lot of us are living a life by default, not by design. You know, a lot of people want the nice house, the nice cars, the lavish vacation and everything, but some people don't have those things. It's not that you don't have it because you can't have it. You don't have it because you're not planning right. You know, the saying goes, when you fail to plan, that you plan to fail. And many of us are failing in areas of life that if we took the time just to write down things and strategically plan things, we could have whatever we want. It's just the law of the universe and the law of the world. So I want people to do that and everything to help them with their credit. Now, here's the thing. After you do these things, understand increasing your credit is not going to happen overnight. It's a process. So like now, today is September the 1st. If you begin this month, you will start to see some effects heading into Christmas. You will start to see some effects heading into the new year. So when you want to do some things next summer, for example, those things will be available for you to do. And I just want people to get into the habit to understand that your credit matters, but your habits also matters, because many people have bad habits. And this is the reason why, you know, things are not getting done the way that they should. So I just want to say to everyone that, you know, please practice these habits and you'll see a great impact on the things that will happen for you. Now, we're about to go into Q&A, questions and answers, y'all. If you have any questions, please post them. All right, y'all. Thank you all for joining me. So again, you all know I have these questions, Q&A, 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 questions and habits. So let's begin. And I'm trying to see if this is actually working, because my daughter just tried to call me on my phone, and I don't know if this is working or not. So let me see, y'all. Hold on. I don't even know how she was able to call. Okay, so here we go. All right, y'all. Here we go. Q&A, questions and answers. All right. Question. Here's a question. Why does my credit score matter when it comes to the interest rate? Why does my credit score matter when it comes to the interest rate? That's a very good credit. I'm sorry, that's a very good question. Why does your credit score matter? Because the lenders want to see if you have a good or bad habit when it pertains to paying bills. You know, credit score is affected and related to bill habits, bill paying habits. You know, you have credit, especially with revolving credit. A lot of times they're looking at your revolving credit, your credit cards. They're looking at your card notes, if you have that. They're looking at if you have any delinquencies on there. All these things affect your credit score. So they want to see if you have a bad habit when it pertains to paying your bills, because when you getting a mortgage is a big step as far as, you know what I'm saying, having on your credit, because they are lending you hundreds of thousands of dollars, in some cases millions of dollars, to obtain this home. They want to make sure that when they loan this person 300,000, 400, 500, $1 million, that there's a good chance that this person is going to pay these bills on time. So that's why your credit matters, and that's why they set it to a certain credit score, because based off your credit scores would tell them whether or not you are a good person to loan money to. So that is why your credit matters when it pertains to buying a home. Someone said, would it be best if I added a line of credit to quickly bump up my score? Would it be best if I added a line of credit to quickly bump up my score? Here's the thing. There are some people who have, let's say, A1 credit, or if they have way better credit scores than you, they can add you on to like credit cards and everything, and the line of credit can help. But here's the thing, the line of credit for you individually is not going to necessarily bump up your score. If you get added to someone who has good credit and they add you to their, let's say, credit card as an authorized user, let's say they have a 700 or 800 credit score and your credit score is like 500 or 600, that will help you boost up your credit. But just adding a line of credit is not going to necessarily bump up your score. What is an ideal credit score for home ownership and why? What is an ideal credit score for home ownership and why? The ideal credit scores, most lenders prefer 640, but I would say anything over 700 will be ideal because your credit score will be, your interest rate is connected to your credit score. So the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate. So I always tell people, just because you see today's interest rate is, let's say, I'm gonna use 5%, even though today's interest rate is not 5%. I'm using this as an example. Let's say the interest rate today is 5%. If you are at the bare minimum as far as credit score, you're not necessarily getting 5% because they give the lowest interest rate to people who have the best credit score. So an ideal credit score for home ownership will be anything over 700 because that would first of all easily increase you getting approved, but second of all, lower your monthly payments. So that's the idea. Anything over 700, definitely over 800. There's very few people out here who are actually over 800. I've had probably like a handful of clients who've had credit scores over 800. I had one lady, her credit scores were so high, it was unbelievable because people didn't know how her credit score was so high. So her credit score was like 830. So I was like, and that was like all her credit scores for all three bureaus. It was like 830, 830, 825. So, but there's very few people who have over 800 credit score. If you can get over 800, that's definitely like perfect credit. But anything over 700 is ideal because that puts you in a better position. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, please have them come in. All right. Another question is renter's tax for people who rent homes or apartments or both? Is renter's tax for people who rent homes, apartments, or both? Okay. Renter's tax is normally for people who rent homes. Renter's tax is for people who rent homes. It said, after closing, can you add someone to your title and deed? After closing, can you add someone to your title and deed? The answer to that is yes. You can add someone to it. They normally do it. It's called a quick claim deed. You can easily add someone and understand it's going to cost you. So if you're looking to add someone, it will probably be better to add them prior to closing. But if you decide to add someone after closing to your title and deed, I would strongly recommend you get back in contact with the title company that handled your transaction. And yes, you can add someone to the title and deed. Someone said, now that the DMV has been experiencing harsh storms, is flood insurance included in home insurance? Is flood insurance included in home insurance now that the DMV has been experiencing harsh storms? I will strongly say to talk to an insurance agent about that because here's the thing. The insurance put it like this, flood insurance was established through FEMA, okay? FEMA determined based off the areas that have been having high risk as far as floods and everything. So when it pertains to flood insurance, I would say to talk to an insurance rep because of the fact that when you talk to the insurance, but they can tell you based off the area. And this is the DMV because of how high we stand as far above water. It's normally not recommended, but when you look at parts of, like, say, Annapolis, because they're closer to the water, there are areas up there that recommend that you get flood insurance. But if you're closer to DC, there's really not recommended for a lot of the areas. But because it has been happening so much in the area, I will always say speak with the insurance person, because based off wherever you live at, if you live near the water, it may be recommended for there. But most houses that are in the city, or like say in majority of Maryland, unless it's by water, is normally not recommended. So that would be because times have changed and things change over time. I would say to strongly speak with a insurance agent about that, because they can guide you and tell you based off that, or where you live at, whether or not that you are basically qualifying for flood insurance. So I would say speak with the insurance agent on that one. But those are good questions. If you have any more questions, please send them in. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. I gotta get back to my Instagram. All right. We about to go to let's see. I'm going. All right, so we're about to go to the next topic of the day. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. Thank you all for joining me. Now, I'm going to talk about smarten up. And somebody might say, what does that mean? Smarten up means basically we as people, we have to become more aware of what's going on around us and what's basically happening. I tell people to smarten up because there's so much going on in the world today. And when I talk about what's going on in the world today, I'm talking about on so many different levels. There are people out here that are manipulating people. There are companies out here that trying to nickel and dime you for everything. When you go out there in the world and you just walking by, there's subliminal messages out there, in the form of sell, sell, sell. But they're actually tricking people, because a lot of times, even with sales, y'all got to understand that you're still spending money. So even though you may think you're saving money, when you're spending money, you're actually making them more money for the companies that you're actually paying. So I say that we have to smarten up, because everything out here is geared to target so many people. Whether it is people targeting other people, it's just like, what I'm saying? Just like you ever notice, like in a relationship, the good people are not with the good people, but the bad people always get a good person. And you always wonder, how come the bad people don't meet the bad people and the good people don't meet the good people? And that sometimes happens because people out here target certain people. When some people know that, okay, you're a genuinely good person, that they can take advantage of you, they will. And that means in all types. And sometimes you'll find out people will use you up. They'll use your niceness, your kindness, your money, your body. They will use you up and everything, because sometimes you are targeted. And then even like when it pertains to advertisement, a lot of people are targeted. Like I always feel like when a lot of people walk into malls and stores and they always talk about sale, sale, sale. And then you go in there and then next thing you know, you say, oh, this normally costs $100, but this is on sale for $45. Let me get 2 pairs of these, or let me get 3 pairs of these, or whatever, because you feel like you're saving, but really you're spending. And that's when some people look at things, it's like looking at a glass half empty or half full. The reason why I say people have to smarten up, y'all, because there's a shift going on in the world today. There's a shift, and people don't even seem to realize, and things are shifting. You have to become aware of everything that's going on around you. You know what I mean? So when I say this, I'm saying smarten up in the areas of be mindful of the people that you have around you. Be mindful, because everybody that you think your friends are not your friends. People that you think mean you good don't mean you good. Everything that you even see on the news is not even geared towards you. As far as you, it's just trying to persuade you. The news is supposed to report the news. But a lot of times it's trying to persuade you towards something if you really pay attention to it. So I say that we have to smarten up in everything, even when it pertains to the people around you. You have to smarten up when it pertains to what you're spending your money on. You have to smarten up when it pertains to like yourself, your health. You know what I'm saying? You got to smarten up. You can't always be drinking all the time. You can't always be eating all the bad food all the time and then wonder why your back ache or why you can't walk or why, what's going on with you, because what you put into your body, y'all, you have to understand affects all your organs inside of you. Affects your lung, your kidney, your bowels, you know what I'm saying, your eyes, your reflexes. So sometimes when you are not feeling well and you're wondering why you're not feeling well, sometimes go back to what you've eaten and what you've drank. Were those things healthy? Were those things nutritional of nutritional value to help improve your body? I just say this, y'all, that we need to smarten up in everything that we do because I see that a lot of times we're not paying attention to a lot of things, y'all. We're really not. And this goes for everyone, and myself included. We're not paying attention. We're being taken advantage by people. People are lying to us. Things that we see are deceptive. People, we really have to strategically start thinking about everything we do and everyone that's around us. What you have to understand that the most important thing on this earth is your time. Your time, because when you're gone, you can't get that time. When a person, it's like when Michael Jackson passed away. I can't remember the age he was, but let's just say 50 years. For 50 years, he was here. But you can't go see him perform live anymore. You can't talk to him. I mean, we couldn't talk to him anyway, but I'm just saying, even somebody who's close to you, picture somebody in your family who's passed away. You will give anything. I'm talking about to the ones that you love that passed away. You would give anything to spend time with them because time is the most important thing. Money is important, people are very important, but time, because we cannot get time back. As people get older, we age. So when you look back on when you were 20 years old, you're not the same if you're 40 years old. And to be truthful, there are people today who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, still acting like they in their 20s because they never mature. So, and they never mature. Why? Because there's a lot of time that has gone by. Sometimes people have been traumatized that they're stuck in a place somewhere in some event in their life, something has happened. But it's all about time. Smarten up, people. You have to smarten up on everything because one thing that's going on, one thing for sure, these smartphones are actually dumbing people down. They're dumbing people down, whether you realize. The reason why they're dumbing people down is because you don't have to think about a lot of stuff nowadays. We can Google everything. We get on our phone, we respond to every notification, text message notification. We respond to, looking at everything on social media. So we're not thinking and using our brains like we really could or like we really should, because the smartphones are dumbing people down. So that's why I'm saying you really have to smarten up for yourself. It's detrimental to you. You got to think about a lot of things. People are not thinking about things like, when COVID hit and the vaccine came out and it was a big topic. Oh, I'm taking it, I'm not taking it, and everything. I always say you got to do what's best for you. You always got to do what's best for you. But understand this, others don't care about you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Something happened to you, something goes wrong. They don't care. They'll make excuses to just deflect you and forget about you. You got to care about you because your family cares about you and your family needs you, whether you realize not, especially if you're a parent. Your kids need you. Your grandkids need you. People need you. You have to smarten up and become a better person. And this takes, first of all, putting the phones down. Yes, the phone in our hand a lot of time, but put the phones down. And sometimes just reflect on your life and where you are and where you need to go. Because a lot of things that we want in life, we can have in life, y'all. We can have whatever we want if we take the time to smarten up. If we take the time to not be so judgmental of others and criticize others, we can have whatever it is that we want in this world, in this life. The problem is too many people are so busy worrying and looking at other people's lives and got something to say about other people that you fail to realize you're wasting time. Time is the most precious thing on this earth that anybody can have. Time. Take the time to look at your life, to look at your ways and your errors, to correct yourself, to make you a better you. Because when you focus on you, making you a better you, your life is going to become a better life. Focusing on you, not focusing on anyone else, just focusing on you becoming a better person. So, like I said, smarten up, people, because we all have a deadline in this world, and when time is gone, it's gone forever. It's 2023 now. Pretty sure many people can remember when it was 2020, and before that, we remember when it was 2010. Those times are gone. Smarten up, people. Okay, I'm about to conclude my show today. I want to thank everyone for joining me. Please follow me on all social media platforms at the bottom. It should be at the bottom right here. You can find me on all of them. Hashtag Damon the Agent. Also, if you have any questions, please let me know. And again, I just want to do a quick recap. All right. I was talking about credit matters. Credit matters. You all, please focus on your credit because credit is so crucial. It is crucial. You might got $100,000 saved up. That's all fine and dandy. But that $100,000, unless you got it wrapped around your body and walking into places, your credit is going to get you into doors that your cash is not going to. Focus on your credit, y'all. And also, your credit is going to keep you out of doors such as houses, such as car doors, or whatever that you should and want to go through as well, too. Your credit matters, y'all. Please focus on it. I gave you all the numbers as far as, you know, calling out and reaching out to the 3 credit bureaus. And I want you all to call them again. And at the same time, I want to thank you all for joining me each and every Friday at 12 noon. This is Damon the Agent. I am signing off. I'll see you all next week, and happy Labor Day, y'all.